Bishop Kenny High School has been serving the Jacksonville community for over 70 years with an enrollment of over 1,400 students. BK is spread on a beautiful 55-acre site on the south side, overlooking the St. Johns River in downtown Jacksonville. BK is a college prep school. Last year's graduating class earned over $21 million in college scholarships, and 98% of the graduates were accepted to college. Bishop Kenny is committed to helping students develop the 21st century skills necessary for success in college and in the workplace. And the beautiful Riverfront Stadium is a perfect place to spend a Friday night. Go Crusaders!
The Friday night lights have been shining all over the First Coast. This is the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights. Friday Night Lights. Brought to you by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now it's time to break it all down. Here are your hosts, Hacker and Andrew Gibson.
And a very good Monday evening to you, Jacksonville. It is a special edition. We'll call it the Monday Night Lights post-game show. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist brings it to you. We're presented by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Kind of an interesting show tonight. We're going to do a lot of high school talk, obviously, because there's a handful of high school games in the area. You just heard Bishop Kenny beating Menendez in the final minutes. Great game, 17-10. Bishop Kenny is a winner. Baldwin defeated Wolfson earlier tonight. Ponte Vedra was a winner over Middleburg tonight. We'll give you a complete scoreboard update. About 8 or 9 games were played due to all the cancellations from last Friday. So a lot of high school talk over the next 2 hours. We're also going to weave in a little Hacker After Dark as well. We will talk Jaguars, maybe a little college talk as well. So high school, NFL, college, all coming up for you over the next 120 minutes or so. As I welcome in Andrew Gibson. Gibby, glad to be with you. And big win for Bishop Kenny when you consider where they were in the district, where they were record-wise, especially after that loss to Parker, to beat Menendez in the fashion they did tonight with under 30 seconds to go. That's a big win for Tim Krause and the Crusaders.
Yeah, good to be with you as always, Hack. Happy Monday Night Football. We've got it all over the place here tonight. And yeah, it was a really nice bounce-back win for Bishop Kenny. They've had, an up-and-down season a little bit. Coach Krause, you just heard him there in the postgame with Molly McDonald a few seconds ago. It was a really good game tonight, back and forth between Menendez and Bishop Kenny with a record of now 4-3. They've won their first 3 games, lost the next 3, and so able to pick up off the mat here tonight. Their first win since a win against Tucoy Creek back on September 6th. So it was a really nice win, and a really nice to get back in that win column for Bishop Kenny.
Yeah, now look, there are a lot of games that were going on. Baldwin defeated Wolfson tonight, 42-0. That's a nice win for Baldwin as they get in the winners column. A lot of games took place on Friday and Saturday as well. I know Saturday had Providence 35-7 over Christ Church. Baker County, we'll talk with Kevin Mays, the head coach of Baker County. They got an enormous win on Friday night over Live Oak Suwannee in a district game. Games happening every night of the week because of all these cancellations. But the big news today, the FHSAA came out and extended the regular season by a week. So now the regular season finale will be November the 7th, and playoffs will begin the week of November 14th. Does not affect the championship games because there was a built-in bye. Now there's not going to be a built-in bye. But I think that was a good call from the FHSAA to give high schools an extra week to get all their games in prior to the playoffs beginning now in the middle part of November.
Yeah, it's the right call today by the FHSAA because you had to do something because it's kind of unprecedented. Now, look, we have storms here in Florida, hurricane season, we know that, but to have 2 hurricanes in back-to-back weeks, really, has thrown a whole wrench into this high school football season because, like you said, there were games last Tuesday. There were games this Tuesday, this Monday, today. There's games tomorrow. It's just it's really scrambled up this high school football season. But it's a good move by the FHSAA to allow the programs and the schools to get these games in.
We'll start lining up some victorious head coaches in just a moment. A couple of scores that have gone final tonight. Ponte Vedra, as we mentioned, 52-21. They were winners tonight over Middleburg. Again, scoreboards on a Monday night are not exactly what they are on a Friday night.
Right.
So bear with us here. And again, not a ton of games. But by my count, Yulee was a winner over Fernandina Beach tonight. St. Augustine was a winner over Clay this evening. We have Ed White over Sandalwood as well. And talking to coaches this past weekend, talking to a couple earlier today, they're doing whatever they can to get all 10 of these regular season games in. Look, these kids work so hard year-round, summer conditioning, spring, fall camp. You only get 10 cracks at this, right? Only 10 regular season games are guaranteed. And kudos to the coaches, the administration, everybody involved for doing whatever they can scheduling-wise to get all these games in.
Well, to think about if you're a high school football senior right now and this is it. I mean, this is your career, and you've got to try to get these games in because you're not going to get any more. It's a situation where you've got to be able to try to fit these in wherever you can. And if you're thinking about it from a senior's perspective, any player's perspective, but just thinking about, hey, this is what I got left in my high school career. You really want to get these games in.
Well, and we've seen some crazy stories, like Matt Toblin and Bowles. I talked to him last week. They played 3 games in 8 days.
Right, yeah.
3 games in 8 days.
That's
you got
crazy.
a ton of teams that are playing tonight, and they'll turn right around and play on Friday night. 2 games in 96 hours. I mean, it's wild what a lot of these schools are having to do to get all these games in.
Yeah, I mean, that's really crazy. You won't see 3 games in 8 days at any other level besides high school football. The NFL would never do that. You can't do that in college. But in a scenario where in high school, you pretty much have your playbook down. You got your handful of plays you're going to run, and you try to prepare as best you can. But 3 games in 8 days is pretty crazy.
Well, and we're getting to the point of the year now where you start looking at playoff positioning. There's 3 weeks to go in the regular season. A lot of the games tonight were key district games. You got 1 more week of key district games. Coaches are beginning to look, like we said, at those rankings, and we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. So not only are you having to schedule all these games at every which way you can, but these are vital, vital games that will determine your postseason fate.
Yeah, and let's remind people too, Hack, the Metro Suburban is gone. It's back to 1A, 2A, 3A here in the state of Florida, which I'm so glad that they went back to that. And a lot of coaches will tell you the same thing because it really became confusing in trying to figure out the playoffs and those kind of things. So I'm glad that it's to this point in the season where these games are so critical, but we just have to get them played.
Again, St. Augustine over Clay, Ponte Vedra over Middleburg. That's a good win for Ponte Vedra. That Middleburg team is very good, and Ponte Vedra, according by this score, 52-21, kind of a relatively easy time, to be honest with you.
And Ponte Vedra, they put up some points now. That team can really score. To like you said, the 52 points being put up tonight. They've really put some numbers on some teams this year, and I feel like a little bit quietly, Ponte Vedra's had a really good year. What are they now? 4-2, 5-2 now,
and they've had a tough schedule. Tough schedule for Ponte Vedra.
They scored 40 against Menendez back in mid-September. So this is a team that really can put up some points.
Ed White over Sandalwood tonight as well. Last score I had was Buchholz over Tecoy Creek. That's a big game. That's a district game. We'll try to get a final score on that, but that's a really telling game, and that's a game that Buchholz needed because Buchholz had already lost to Nice. And if they lost again, they were going to be in a lot of trouble. By the way, Nice was supposed to play Bartram Trail tonight, but because the FHSAA made their ruling about the November 7th, like we just talked about, they postponed it until November 7th, which is interesting. A big rivalry district game in St. Johns County. They postpone it hours before kickoff and move it to November the 7th.
Wow, that's interesting. I did see that. I saw that late last week they had announced that Monday was going to be the date in which they were going to do the game. But, yeah, like you said, moving it to the first week of November. So that will make Nice, their next football game will be against Atlantic Coast coming up on Friday.
So we'll obviously talk a lot of high school ball tonight. We'll bring you a couple of coaches. We're going to talk with Kevin Mays, the head coach of Baker County, Matt Toblin of Bowles. I caught up with him towards the end of last week. Also, Toby Bullock of Mandarin. They're another one. They're doing whatever they can to schedule these games, and they were winners last week. In a big district game. So Toby Bullock of Mandarin, Matt Toblin of Bowles, Kevin Mays of Baker County, all coming up. Don Velvet, the head coach of Baldwin. They are a very happy squad. Again, 42-0 over Wolfson. Nice win for Baldwin tonight over the Wolfson Wolfpack.
Yeah, Denmark, what happened in this game? Tell us about it, man.
Yeah, Denmark, the head, one of the on the coaching staff there for Baldwin. Pretty happy with your team tonight?
Yeah, jumped out 35-0, had a running clock. Best thing was we had one of our defensive linemen score a touchdown. Kid's been in the program for about 7 years. And, we did our thing, and now we got 3 games in 3 weeks. So it was a nice win. We haven't had one since week 3. It could have been a little bit of a rough couple weeks. So
you're in the high school football coaching community. This is your world. The FHSAA doing what they did, does that drastically affect things, extending the regular season by a week? Do you like the fact that they did that?
Yeah, because, if you were one of those teams that are affected, Georgia did this. They came out with this 2 weeks ago. They said, they extended everything a week. For here, most teams have already got their games scheduled. I know a few teams have, that extra time, they've scheduled a game, but most teams have already get all their 10 games in, so they'll just use that as a bye week before they, get their playoff bracket on the 9th, I think it is, on November.
So a lot more high school talk to come, but again, we are going to weave in some Hacker After Dark stuff as well. Monday Night Football going on, the finale of Week 6 right now between the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets, the head coaching debut of Jeff Ulbrich of New York. Remember, Robert Saleh was fired. The Bills lead 13-10. Over New York, about 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. Also, if you did not hear earlier today, the Jaguars, after that absolute fiasco yesterday in losing to Chicago 35-16, traded Roy Robertson-Harris to the Seattle Seahawks for a 2026 sixth-round pick. I guess a ham sandwich might have also been included. So that begs the question, Gibby, is this the beginning of a fire sale for the Jaguars, or is this just a one-off and Roy Robertson-Harris sent on his way to get more playing time for maybe Mason Smith, Jordan Jefferson, Miles Cole? I don't know. We'll see. But again, Roy Robertson-Harris was probably your third best pass rusher this year after Allen and Walker, and now he's on his way to Seattle for a 2026 sixth-round pick.
Yeah, it seems like this is a situation where the teams that are going to be in contention, think about it. We're still in Week 6, and this stuff is happening.
You got 11 games to go, man. That's either a good thing or a bad thing.
Well, think about it. The Seahawks right now are in it. They're tied for first with 49ers right now with a 3-3 record. So, they're a team that's contending and a team that feels like they're going to be in the mix here late in the season when we get there. And so they just cherry-picked a veteran for what they need. They need some more defensive line depth in Seattle. Went and got Roy Robertson-Harris today. And by the way, a 2026 sixth-round pick is nothing. The Jaguars traded Blaine Gabbert for a sixth-round pick and got Luke Bowanko back.
Yeah, this appeared to be like a contract dump, if you will, but they're still going to have dead money on their cap in 2024 and 2025. So more on the Jaguars coming up. Jordan DeLugo, Generation Jaguar, will also join us later on in the show. But we talked to Victoria's head coaches under the Monday Night Lights, as it were, tonight. That's what we do, and let's kick it off right now with the Coach's Corner.
I know football.
Now, the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Coach's Corner on 1010XL.
And again, thank you to Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Ponte Vedra, a big win tonight over Middleburg. Steve Price, the head coach of Ponte Vedra, joins us under the Monday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Hey, thanks, Hacker. It was a good night. It was a good night. Monday Night Football, man.
No question about it. That's a big game. Middleburg's a good team. I believe that was a district game for you guys. You must be very, very pleased.
We are, man. I am really, really just so proud of our guys. And I know every high school is dealing with this, but it is, football depends on routine, consistency. It's part of the game, right? And all of us have been dealing with, 2 hurricanes coming through, and can you practice? Can you not practice? Are you going to play now? Are you going to play later? It's been really difficult for our kids.
And Coach,
and I was so proud of them the way they stayed focused.
And take us into that world, because I've talked to a couple head coaches about this. You want to get 10 games in, or as many as you can. The kids have earned that with everything they do year-round, from summer to fall camp, spring ball. They've earned these 10 opportunities. So I know you guys and all the administrations around the area are doing whatever you can to get all 10 games in. The FHSAA did help you out a little bit, extending the regular season by a week. They made that announcement earlier today. But how challenging has it been with the schedule?
It's been so, it really has been remarkably tough. And right or wrong, I made the decision early on. I had a couple kids graduate not too long ago. They were seniors, and I would do anything I could to get them all the opportunities to play as many games as possible, just because you don't get to do this the rest of your life. You know, it's like it's going to end for the lucky ones. It's going to end in a couple of years, but for most of us, it ends, you know, in high school. And so, you know, if it's a bad decision to play 2 games in a week, I'm going to err on that side just because I want our kids to be able to enjoy this great sport. It's just, you know, those of us who have played, it impacts the rest of our lives, all these games and times with our friends and representing our community, and it matters, you know, and so I was thrilled that we got a chance to play it. It looks like we're going to get to play 10 games this year in the regular season, and, you know, if we're fortunate enough to make the playoffs, we'll play as long as we can. But I was really excited that we got a chance to play tonight, and really excited how our kids performed.
Coach Price, always great to have you on. I was just talking about that with Hacker a second ago with these seniors in mind, you know, because you only have so many, Coach. You only have so many of those. I wanted to ask you about this matchup tonight against Middleburg. You know, this is a Middleburg defense that had 4 shutouts prior to your game tonight. You guys scored 52 on them. How did you do it?
Well, you know, I really thought our offensive line did a fantastic job. First of all, my hat's off to Ryan Wolf. I thought his kids came in prepared. We got some breaks early. We blocked a punt early and kind of got up, and they fought back. It was I think it was 38-21 at half. And they, you know, I think our both offense and defensive lines played really well for us, and I think that's where it all starts. So,
Coach, the crazy thing for you, and correct me if I'm wrong as we begin to wrap up with Steve Price of Ponte Vedra, a district win tonight. Are you right back in the district for your finale on Friday against Orange Park?
Yeah, so we turn around, and it's a 4-day turnaround. Now, it is very difficult. You know, we started breaking down Orange Park yesterday afternoon as a coaching staff, and I went home last night and I started getting confused as to, you know, who did what. You know, it's like I've watched so much film on Middleburg and then watched the film on Orange Park and trying to figure it out. And but you know, we've got 4 days now to get ready for them, and we'll get refocused. I think it's going to be important that our kids, you know, get rested on. You know, one of the tough breaks for our guys right now is Orange Park. This is their bye week, so you know they're off. But we should be battle tested on Friday night anyway.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the win tonight over Middleburg. Best of luck on Friday night. We hope we're talking to you 4 days from now.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Steve Price, the head coach of Ponte Vedra, winners tonight over Middleburg. And again, that's a good win, man. That Middleburg team's a good team, and so he must be very pleased.
Yeah, like I was telling Coach a second ago, and he's very aware of this, that the Middleburg defense had 4 shutouts prior to the game tonight, and they put up 52 on them. So, like we said, Ponte Vedra's got some firepower on their offense, and they were able to get it done tonight.
We'll come back, Gatorade player of the game. We're also going to talk about San Jose Collision, Premier Physical Therapy. We got a lot to do here under the Monday Night Lights, and we are going to sprinkle in some Hacker After Dark stuff. We're going to talk Jags. We're going to talk a little bit of Gators. We're with you for another, I don't know, what the heck. We'll go to 11:30, 11:15. We'll figure it out. We started about 9:15. Bishop Kenny ended a little early. By the way, big win. We'll talk to Tim Krause of Bishop Kenny as well. They scored a touchdown with 7 seconds to go to beat Menendez 17-10. Huge win for the Crusaders in that district. It is the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Monday Night Lights tonight. We are presented by Duck Duck Rooter, plumbing, septic, and air conditioning with Dylan Denmark and Andrew Gibson. The Hacker Ryan Green with you here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Starting at linebacker, number 55, Tom McManus.
I'm bringing you straight to the gridiron to show you what it's like to put on the Jags helmet and pads. Friday from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson Windows and Doors.
The Jaguars are back at Everbank Stadium to go head-to-head with the Green Bay Packers for our crucial catch game. Join us October 27th as we fight cancer through early detection, risk reduction, and awareness all game long. Lock in your tickets now by visiting jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you there.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Homeowners, listen up. The Fed is taking action, lowering rates for the first time in years, and Loan Pronto has followed suit, lowering mortgage rates big time. Prosser here. That means this is the best chance in 2 years to do a cash-out refi and unlock all that equity at an amazing rate. Loan Pronto has fixed loans under 5% APR, the lowest in 2 years. You can get a fast refi and get $50,000 to $75,000, even $100,000 in cash. Use it to pay off all your credit cards, personal loans, car loans. You'll end up with one payment each month. And for most homeowners, they save over $850 every month. If you want to keep your original mortgage intact, ask about the Loan Pronto Express Equity Line of Credit. If you act now, you can even skip your next 2 house payments. So call now. Get your rate quote in minutes with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees like those other guys. 999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781.
Hey Googans, Dr. Chris Kopp, PT here with Premier Physical Therapy of Jacksonville. Is pain interfering with your life? Looking for a specialist for the rehab of your young athlete? Whether recovering from injury, surgery, or improving overall function, Premier PT Jax provides personalized treatment with compassionate care. My team of experts are ready to serve you at 3 locations, Plana Vidra, San Pablo, and US 1 Phillips Highway. Visit PremierPTJax.com or call 904-996-6922. PremierPTJax.com, where your journey to wellness begins.
Go inside your home team's locker room with Jags beat reporter Hayes Carline.
Check out my blog at 1010XL.com
so you can catch all the news and nuggets you need to know.
My blog is brought to you by Roland Reese Plumbing,
where quality and experience count.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
57% of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida alumni say the club saved their lives. The Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida support over 5,000 local youths each day. Help support this work and have some fun at the same time. Join us at the Beaches Barbecue Bash, Monday, October 28th at ABBQ Atlantic Beach for barbecue, great beverages, live music, and an auction to positively impact our youth each day. Learn more at bgcnf.org/events.
When you're injured in a car accident and the insurance company denies your medical bills, denies to pay your lost wages, and won't repair your car, it's time to fight back. Time to call Farah and Farah at 800-500-5555. Jacksonville.
Hacker here, and I can't believe it. 100 pounds gone. 6 months ago, I never would have dreamed this was possible. I'm going to say it again because it feels so good. I've dropped 100 pounds thanks to Awaken 180 weight loss. To put that in perspective, I've taken roughly 10 inches off my waist. I'm down from a XXX to an XL, and I did it all in slightly over 6 months. It's not just about the number on the scale. It's also about getting my life back, playing with my son, and being more physically active. Now we're celebrating big time. I'm hosting an exclusive football watch party to celebrate this huge milestone, and you'll have a chance to join me. Let's watch some football, eat some great food, and if you have questions about Awaken 180, ask me. Details to come, but don't wait on that. Call Awaken 180 today and learn how fast you can reach your goals. 844-346-1800 or online, awaken180weightloss.com.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-IHRS 777-4477.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. The Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights, brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning on 1010XL. Time now for the Gatorade Player of the Week. Gatorade, the world's #1 sports drink and the proven fuel of high school athletes. Nothing beats Gatorade. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie.
Don Velvet, the head coach of Baldwin, coming up in one moment. Speaking of Baldwin, Denmark, you being on the staff, there was a young man at Baldwin tonight that had terrific performance in your victory over my alma mater, the Wolfson Wolfpack.
Yeah, Kelvin Brown had 6 catches for about 120 yards and 3 touchdowns, and that led to our, I think it was a 42-0 win over Wolfson. Leads the state, not leads the state, but he's about top 20 in the state in receiving yards, and he's got about 10 or so touchdowns. And he got his first couple D1 offers a couple weeks ago, and he's just having a good season so far.
There you go, Kelvin Brown, the Gatorade Player of the Week here on the Monday Night Lights postgame show. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist brings you the Monday Night Lights presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. With that, let's go to the head coach of Baldwin. Don Velvet is his name. He joins us here on 1010XL. Coach, congratulations.
Hey, I appreciate it, Hank.
Coach, appreciate you joining us on a Monday evening, a little Monday night football for Baldwin tonight. Unfortunately, you took it to my alma mater, 42-0 over Wolfson. You must be very pleased with your kids' performance tonight.
Definitely pleased, man, to be able to come out and play after the unroutine, I guess, thing for the Hurricane being, out of schedule routine. We're just getting out here trying to get back into the win column. But, yeah, definitely proud of the kids and the way they showed today.
It's been a wild year, and I'm asking coaches every time I have somebody else on. I mean, challenges that have gone through this season, scheduling. You want to try to get as many of these games as you can because the kids have earned that. But from your perspective, from your administration's perspective, how challenging has 2024 been?
Been very challenging. Nothing's been normal. Put it that way. Nothing's been normal. We've been just trying to manage our way through it all, along with it, injuries and everything that comes with the season. So we've just been trying to stay, keep the boat steered in the right direction, man, and keep the kids' eyes on the prize and finish out the season in a positive direction.
Coach Velvet, great to have you on with us. Congratulations on the win tonight. Tell us about that performance that we just spoke about with Kelvin. What did he have for you tonight?
Oh, man, a kid who's pretty much electric. He's a great kid, first of all, but from a football standpoint, man, he's a polished individual. He works hard at his craft. He's great in all facets of the game. I mean, we could use him on defense. We can use him in special teams. We can use him on offense, man. He pretty much affects the game in all phases of the game. And again, a great kid from a personal standpoint as well.
Coach, 3 games to go. I got Denmark in here with me every night, so I know all about the decimal points and the rankings and whatnot. I'm not sure if he's your guy looking at that. But as the head coach, do you start looking at that sort of thing, or is it just one game at a time, and if we win the rest of our games, it'll take care of itself?
Yeah, it's the old cliche. Definitely what in the situation we have, as far as our record right now, we play some pretty tough opponents on our schedule. Right now, we're just trying to take it one game at a time and let the chips fall where they may. We're just trying to, make sure that we finish the year out strong. And if it falls in our favor, we'll be in a good position for a playoff run.
Don Velvet, the head coach of Baldwin, they are winners tonight over the Wolfson Wolfpack. Coach, congratulations.
I sure appreciate it, Hank.
Big win tonight for Baldwin, again, 42-0 over Wolfson. It was also a big win for Riverside here, a little high school Monday night football on this Monday evening. Antoine Nicholas of Riverside is their head coach. He joins us here on 1010XL. Coach, congratulations.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it.
43-7, Riverside gets it done over Englewood. Coach, tell us about the game. Quite the performance for you guys.
Yeah, we came out and got the ball rolling with Shamon Davis on the ground and got some turnovers, a pick 6 by R.J. Pooler and Anthony Hearing. So we got some things going. We actually had 3 defensive touchdown, pick 6 tonight. So we're excited about that, just building going into another tough contest, another week where we playing 2 games.
Coach, how many games have you ever coached where you had 3 pick sixes in a game?
Oh, man, I never. It's definitely a first. But excited for us the growth and just getting better week to week for those guys making plays and driving on the football.
Coach, big win over Trinity, right? We talked to you about that when that happened. Now you beat Inglewood, and coming up soon, you got a big matchup against Bowles and a big matchup against Ed White. I mean, talk about where you are in the season now. I believe, what are you, 4-3 or 5-3 on the year? Are you happy with where you sit as the postseason's on the horizon?
I wouldn't say happy, but I feel like we still in a good place. We knew we had a tough schedule going in, as well as we could definitely compete with those teams, and hats off to those teams for us doing a good job. But I think right now we just got to control what we can control for us fixing us. And I mean, it's a lot of upsides and a lot of talent. We still haven't played our best football yet. That's the scary thing.
Coach, tell us a little bit about Sherman Davis. You mentioned him at the very outset here. I mean, here's a guy that's averaging like 140-plus yards rushing per game. Tell us about Sherman.
Oh, yeah, man. And I tell you, Sherman is complete back, man, when I'm talking about catching the ball, running the ball, all phases, as well as playing on the defensive side of the ball, man. He's a great student athlete, great guy. I think the biggest thing is getting downhill, man, and the twitch as well as the speed for us taking it the distance. But he has been carrying the load for us, as well as R.J. Bertrand getting in there for us, mixing it up. But we got some things rolling over here. We just trying to build around that, as well as those guys working up front, man. We're not the biggest up front, but those guys do play hard and physical, and we just love it. That's general football.
Final moments with Antoine Nicholas of Riverside. Coach, you'll be on 1010XL Friday night against Bowles. How excited are you for that opportunity coming up in 4 nights?
Yes, sir. I'm definitely excited. It's always fun. We didn't get a chance to play them in a while. I think the last time we did play them, Corky was over there. But definitely excited about just getting back to that, as well as the experience and the atmosphere. We're excited to play it.
And again, you'll hear that game right here on 1010 a.m. coming up this Friday night. Antoine Nicholas of Riverside, winners tonight over Inglewood. Coach, congratulations. Best of luck against Bowles on Friday.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. That'll be one of the best games of the area. That's a good Riverside team. That's a good Bowles team. That should be fun on Friday night.
Is that right? Riverside hasn't played over there since Corky was the coach?
Wow, that's a long time.
That's crazy. But yeah, that game's going to be crazy good.
It will be good. It will be good. Other scores coming in. Denmark, am I reading this right? Creekside, a winner tonight over Atlantic Coast, 43-37. That's a nice win for Creekside. Creekside's kind of righted the ship a little bit. We'll hopefully be able to get Sean McIntyre coming up here in just a moment. Also, Kevin Mays, the head coach of Baker County. They were winners last Friday night over Live Oak Swanee. We'll talk to him as well. But before we get back to Victoria's head coaches, Gibby, every week, let's talk about your folks at San Jose Collision. And we bring you on Friday nights, or in this case on the Monday Night Lights, the San Jose Collision of the Week. Denmark, let's do it.
Now, the Collision of the Week. Brought to you by San Jose Collision.
San Jose Collision, check them out for any kind of auto body needs, $30 job, $30,000 job, whatever it might be. You've banged up your car, you've gotten a fender bender, somebody backed into you, whatever it is. They can really fix you up really well over at San Jose Collision. Check them out, San Jose Boulevard over in Mandarin. That is San Jose Collision. And tonight, the collision of the night was a really good game that aired on both stations here tonight. 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Bishop Kenny getting the victory tonight against Menendez Hack in a game that went back and forth the whole way. Bishop Kenny won it with a touchdown with 7 seconds to go. A much-needed victory for the Crusaders after they had lost 3 games in a row, and they win it tonight by a final score of 17-10. Bishop Kenny over Menendez. That's our Collision of the Week, brought to you by San Jose Collision.
Yeah, it was a 27-yard touchdown with 7 seconds to go. That game was crazy, too, because the first drive of the second half, Menendez had the ball for 7.5 minutes. Only 12-minute quarters in high school, right? 7.5 minutes, and came away with no points. They were stopped inside the Bishop Kenny, I think, 10 or 15-yard line. So just a wild game, a defensive battle. You don't see a lot of those in high school football, but Bishop Kenny gets it done tonight, 17-10. We'll come back. We'll hear from Kevin Mays, the head coach of Baker County, another victorious head coach or two, and then we'll begin talking a little Jaguars. We'll branch into the Hacker After Dark portion of tonight's program with Dylan Denmark and Andrew Gibson. The Hacker Ryan Green with you. All the coaches tonight are on the phone line, the Garber Auto Mall phone line, and we always appreciate Garber Auto Mall here on 1010XL. More to do. Halftime, by the way, NFL Monday Night Football. Buffalo does lead the New York Jets right now.
20-17.
20-17,
By the way,
yeah.
You didn't see it, but the play that just happened to end the half was ridiculous. We just had a David Tyree play that was a touchdown
for the Jets.
Rodgers threw it. Here it is. Rodgers just threw a Hail Mary at the end of the half, and Alan Lazard, former Jaguar, caught it on top of his helmet. Look at this.
Wow. It
got stripped out at the end, but he had caught it. If you watch the replay on this Monday night game, he's pinning it to his helmet, and he's taken to the ground by like 3 Bills players who are trying to tear it out. And they called it a touchdown, 52 yards to end the half on a Hail Mary.
Very cool. Offensive shootout, 20-17, Buffalo over the Jets at halftime. We will keep you updated. More to do. Monday Night Lights, little Hacker After Dark as well, 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Good drives bring more points. Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville brings you the drive of the game.
Great job.
On 1010XL. Drive to the game in luxury with Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.
Hey folks, this is Dave Benyon with my son Ammon here from Zero Res. Ammon, you've been cleaning air ducts for a while now. What are some of the reasons customers might consider getting their air ducts cleaned?
There are many reasons. Many times, people suffer needlessly from poor indoor air quality produced by the conditions in their air system. Construction dust, the presence of bacterial growth, and years' worth of buildup all come together to make your air ducts a pretty gross place. If you suffer from allergies, have recently moved, recently remodeled, or have never had your air ducts cleaned, then now is the best time to call. By calling Zero Res, you'll have the peace of mind of knowing that you called the best of the best. Our state-of-the-art truck mount system and top-of-the-line service representatives simply can't be found anywhere else. Google Zero Res and read thousands of 5-star reviews.
So what kind of deals can I expect?
Just mention that you heard us on the radio, and we'll give you $100 off your air duct cleaning.
Wow, that sounds like a pretty great deal. Remember, folks, Zero Res,
spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Introducing Gatorade Water. Alkaline and electrolyte infused for great taste. Gatorade Water, always in motion.
Find it at your local Winn-Dixie for the athletes who give everything. Nothing beats Gatorade, the studied, tested, and proven fuel of the world's greatest athletes. Gatorade Water, proudly supporting high school sports on the First Coast.
Hey, Hicken here with a message from Zero Res. Can you believe they've been cleaning carpets in Jacksonville now for 20 years? Dave Benyon, his family, and staff are so grateful of things and appreciate you, their great customers. In fact, October's birthday month for Zero Res. So what are we doing for customers? Just say happy birthday, Zero Res, and we'll give you $50 off. That's $50 off carpet, tile, and grout, upholstery, or area rugs. Zero Res, man. Spell it forwards or backwards. Zero Res. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
Make your dream of living in luxury a reality in Lennar's newest 55 and up active adult community, Edenbrook at Highland Trail. Located in the heart of Green Cove Springs, Edenbrook offers world-class amenities with a dedicated activities director and homes starting in the high 300s. With rates as low as 3.99% and up to $50,000 in flex cash on our new Edenbrook homes, the time to buy is now. Call 904-643-3750 to find out more. Your life of luxury awaits in Edenbrook at Highland Trail by Lennar.
Make a crucial catch against colon cancer. Hicken here for the Borland Groover Foundation. If you're 45 or older, the ball is in the red zone to get screened. The key to surviving colon cancer, early detection and prevention. 45 is the new 50. Get screened for colon cancer now. The Borland Groover Foundation is a nonprofit organization devoted to building a healthy and equitable community that is free from colon cancer. Visit BorlandGrooverFoundation.com for more.
Give us your hot take.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
On the 1010XL text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm awake and I speak English, so yeah, I do know what you're saying.
Be part of the conversation. 641-1010.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Let's start the debate. Why would someone buy a new car from you? We have an exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty on every new vehicle. We offer a competitive wow price plus free oil changes. How much will someone get for their trade? We offer more than $4,000 over KBV value. Well, we never lose a trade over price. Okay, when is the best time to buy a car? Right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter which side you pick. At Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet, you get it all. Let us show you why we're the winning vote.
Here's your 1010XL First Coast Community Calendar.
Watch top local fighters in the Police Athletic League's Boxing Championships October 26th. Find out more at jaxpal.org.
Thousands of people in Duval County suffer from Alzheimer's. To join the Walk to End Alzheimer's at UNF November 9th, visit alz.org/Jacksonville Walk.
You can make a difference in the lives of people living with lung cancer. To join the American Lung Association at the Lung Force Walk at UNF November 16th, log on to lungforce.org/Jacksonville.
Pace Center for Young Teen Girls has been helping local girls realize and fulfill their individual potential year-round since 1985. To see how you can help change a young girl's life in your community, visit pacecenter.org.
City Rescue Mission provides life-changing support for the homeless. Find ways to get involved at crmjazz.org.
You can find out how to share your community event at 1010XL.com.
Stuck on what to do with a plumbing issue? Just call the Duck. Duck Rooter are experts at plumbing and are a 5-star Google-rated company. You name it, they do it. Water heater replacements to sewer drain cleaning, leaks to repipes. Fully licensed and insured with highly trained technicians. Trust the Duck to fix it right. Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic Services.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. The Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights, brought to you by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
Back here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville. We are glad you are with us. We got a little Monday Night Lights this week as we had over a dozen games in the area tonight. We did have some games on Friday. Some teams were able to get their games in on Friday night, and that includes Baker County and head coach Kevin Mays. Just an enormous victory for the Wildcats over Live Oak Swanee, and Coach Mays joins us here on 1010XL. Coach, congratulations.
Thanks. It was an exciting game Friday night.
Coach, that district's wild. It's you, it's Godby, it's Swanee, and I believe it's Denellen is the other one. And
Wakulla.
Oh, Wakulla. That's right. Wakulla's in there. That's exactly right. And you guys had a hard-fought loss to Godby. You turned right back around a week later in what probably was a must-win, right? Very close to a must-win. And you guys go into Live Oak and get it done on Friday night. You must be very, very pleased.
Yeah, that was a tough kind of tough turnaround because, like you said, the Godby game was kind of heartbreaking, and then to have to come back in and play them, which, take the records out when our two teams get together, because they're a very good, I guess at this point, 1-5 team, and it was an intense game all the way to the end.
Now, you guys have done very well this year. You sit, 4-2, I believe, 4-2 on the year. And your two losses have literally been by 5 points or less both times. And they were to very good teams in Tallahassee, Godby, and, of course, Bradford County. You got 3 games to go in the regular season, 1 district game to go in the regular season. As far as where your team is at this point in mid-October, are you happy with where the guys are right now?
Yeah, this is the part of the season. I guess obviously we're happy. I mean, we'd like to have been 6-0, but we're this is the tough time for me as a coach because you got to be able to manage all the bumps and bruises that come along with this too, and to play some of the physical teams we've played the last couple of weeks. That to me, that's the hard part with us. Like, how much do we push them Monday through Friday or Monday through Thursday because you want them to be at full speed come Friday night. So it's I'm happy where we're at, and we just, like I said, we got to manage our bumps and bruises to be able to continue and hopefully win out.
Kevin Mays, the head coach of the Baker County Wildcats. Coach, you've done this in Central Florida and now up here in North Florida for a while as a head coach. Can you ever remember a year that's been this crazy as far as weather situations? Now, luckily, you got your game in on Friday, but, I mean, we got 13 or 14 games tonight for teams that could not get their games in. It's the third storm that's disrupted games this regular season. How crazy has it been as a football coach to have to deal with all this?
It's funny you say that. We were talking about it today, that this football season already has seemed like it is, and we're only going into week 8, but it seems like it's been going on for 6 months now, just with the different. I mean, you're dealing with something. Last few weeks, you're dealing with all kinds of stuff as far as scheduling. And should you play a game now? Should you try to get it in before the storm gets here, or do you wait till you get after? And I was worried we go down and play Satellite High School this week, and having to be in contact with their coach because this last storm went kind of straight across the state right there. And it's just, the kids are on, the kids are off, and the school system's doing the best they can. When they're off, they don't want you on campus, so it's hard to get around your kids. And, out here, power seems to stay off a little longer than in the city. It's been crazy, but we got a older team this year, which I think has helped us keep everything together and continue to play pretty well, actually.
Coach, 3 games to go. Do you start looking at those computer rankings at this point, or is that still a ways away?
Yeah, you look. Of course, you look, but it doesn't. I keep telling our guys, as long as we win, things will take care of themselves. And I think at this point we are in a pretty good spot to at least make the playoffs. But obviously you want to be up, at least be in the top 4, so you get some home games, and then obviously down the road, we keep talking about it here. We'd like to be 2 or 3, so we don't have to see Reigns till later, because obviously they're playing really well this year. But yeah, you look, and like I kind of told you or said something earlier, is that we might go watch a game tonight for possible playoff people. So it's you always want to look, but like I said, as long as we win, I think we'll be in good shape.
Coach, final question. We got you on tonight, and you play again on Friday. We'll be back on under the Friday night lights in just a couple of days. You mentioned Satellite High School. What do we know about them?
They're another team that hasn't had the season they want. They're 1-5. I'll be honest. Hopefully we can go down there and take care of business. Let some of these younger guys play, and hopefully let some of our bumps and bruises heal up, because we're gonna need to be at full speed come Wakulla and Danelle in the last 2 games.
Yeah, Wakulla and Danelle in the last 2 games. Satellite this Friday. Kevin Mays, the head coach of the Baker County Wildcats. Coach, congratulations on the big win over Live Oak Suwannee. Best of luck against Satellite on Friday night.
Thank you.
Who's a winner?
Now, the Premier Physical Therapy Premier Win of the Night.
And thank you to Kevin Mays, the head coach of the Baker County Wildcats, for joining us here on a special Monday Night Lights edition of the Friday Night Lights postgame show. The Premier Win of the Night is presented by Premier Physical Therapy and Dr. Chris Kopp. PremierPTJax.com is their website, PremierPTJax.com. That's the place to take your young athletes. Personalized attention, over 25 years of experience on both adults and youth. You can check out Dr. Chris Kopp and Premier Physical Therapy at PremierPTJax.com. Gibby, the Premier Win of the Night goes to?
Let's give it to Creekside. The Knights got a win tonight over Atlantic Coast. Really good, high-scoring game, 43-37 the final. Creekside over Atlantic Coast. And it was a critical win for Creekside because that was their first district win, and it's a short week for them, as it is for everybody playing tonight and tomorrow, as Creekside's going to host Reigns. That's going to be a great game. It'll be senior night for the Knights on Friday.
Let's go to Creekside High School. Head coach Sean McIntyre joins us here under the Monday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Thanks, Hacker. The cardiac nights were in full effect. We made it way more interesting than it probably needed to be. We were up 43-15 in the 4th, and a touchdown, and then a couple onside kicks later, we were up by 6.
Wow.
And so hats off to Coach Durham and the Atlantic Coast. He's really doing a good job there, and their kids played hard the entire time, and we've obviously been on the other side of the coin, so we know what it's like. We were kind of reeling. We try to get the kids back to momentum, but their kids never stopped playing, and hats off to them. Hope they finish the season strong. They have some really good players and did a really nice job tonight.
I mean, the most important thing, Coach, it's a win, and it's a win you needed, no question about it. But Being outscored 22-0 down the stretch, what's the message to your guys after a win? I mean, I'm sure you congratulated them and are happy about the victory, but obviously you need to clean some of that stuff up.
Yeah. We've been hemorrhaging points this year, and it's come from a variety of reasons. Each week kind of a new thing, a new issue pops up that needs to be addressed, and we get some of them covered up and some of them rear their head again. But just continue to get better, continue to go forward. Like one of the onside kicks, we just didn't they kicked it over our head, and one of our deep kids just didn't cover it. And so just learning lessons like that, and then making sure you don't make the same mistakes twice. Our kids, they care, they're committed, they're really gritty, and so we're 1-0 in the district, and that's what really matters. And it's easier to coach them hard after a win. So we'll go after that out there tomorrow to practice. We'll have all of our kids out there. They'll be ready to get better and try to get ready for a really, really, really good Reigns team on Friday.
Coach, you just mentioned it. How meaningful is it to get their first district win here tonight?
Oh, it was huge. The season was on the line this week. Our season was on the line. If we would have lost that game tonight, I'm not sure we'd be in the playoffs. We'd have to win out, and that would be a tall task with some of the teams we have coming down the pipe here. So it was critical, huge. Gives us, we're 1-0 in the district, and those are the games that really matter. You have a seat in the playoffs if you win the district. So that's our goal, and we'll utilize Reigns on Friday to try to make us better for the next district game that we have.
Final moment, Sean McIntyre of Creekside. Coach, 4 games this year for you guys decided by 7 points or less. You're 3-1 in those games. That has to give you confidence that even if things get hairy at the end like tonight, that you guys, a majority of the time, are finding ways to win these close ball games.
Yeah, I did a study in the off season. In the last 3 years or 2 years, we're 13-3 in one-score games.
Wow.
So if we can keep it tight, we feel good about our kids executing at the end of a game and playing for 48 minutes. We think that the way that we practice, the way that we train, and then the way that we execute those critical moments give us an advantage. And obviously, we've been in some tight games. So our kids, they never look ahead. They just play the next play and one play at a time and keep on grinding. So I'm proud of them for that. That resiliency is going to take them a long way, and I'm proud of them for that. They play hard for 48 minutes. If you play us, you're going to have to play hard for 48 minutes, and they're fun to coach.
Coach, I know that at times you've had to try to keep up a little bit with what you mentioned earlier, but this is 4 straight games now. You guys have scored in the 40s. How confident are you in the offense right now?
Very, very. Our offense is doing a great job. Early in the season, we were really pressing. I said this last week, and that's the truth. We were really pressing. I think we were supposed to score 40 points, and we were trying to score 40 points on every play. Whereas on offense, you just got to take what they give you, execute at a high level. Tonight we had a few turnovers early, and that's why the game was close in the first half. So we've got to clean that up. Other than that, it's just take what they give us. We did not try to take more than they gave us. We did a good job running the ball tonight, which is very tough for us to run the ball in Atlantic Coast. Their front 7 on defense year in and year out is a salty, athletic, angry group, and they play that way. And so we were able to run the ball consistently, and when we can do that, we're pretty good on offense.
Coach, final question. That should be quite the scene Friday night down at Creekside High School. Reigns coming in, one of the best teams in Duval County. You guys, obviously, a very established program in St. Johns County. That's going to be fun on Friday.
Yeah, I hope it is. I hope to keep it close. I don't know if you're giving them enough credit. I think they're a little better than any team in Duval. I think it's a little bit broader than that. They are up front on both sides of the line of scrimmage, as talented and as physical of a unit as we've seen. And then their skill kids on defense, trigger and hit, run and hit. Just they don't give up big plays, and they keep everything bottled up. And then on offense, they are explosive. So just their quarterback is doing a tremendous job. We are going to have to tighten many things up on defense, and we're going to be airtight on offense to play with them. So we're excited for it. We scheduled a game like this because these are the type of teams we would see in the 7A playoffs, and we'll see what we got.
Sean McIntyre of Creekside, winners tonight over Atlantic Coast. Coach, congratulations.
Appreciate it, guys. Best of luck to everybody as the playoffs kind of get cranked up here, and district championships are on the line. So best of luck to all the guys in Northeast Florida, and appreciate all you guys do.
Thanks, Coach. We're going to start branching into a little Hacker After Dark, a little Jaguar talk. Jordan DeLugo, Generation Jaguar, is going to join us in just a bit. Quickly, though, we'll be right back here in 4 days under the Friday Night Lights. Bowles Riverside, right? Creekside Reigns. A lot of really, really good games coming up 4 nights from now.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I mean, we just talked to the couple of the coaches that are going to be playing in those games, and yeah, I mean, these are the kind of games that, I mean, get your popcorn ready, as Terrell Owens used to say, because these are the kind of games that matter at the end of the day when you're talking about district games, and even like we just talked about, Reigns and Creekside. It's a huge Duval-St. John's matchup, which is going to be fun.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist brings you the special edition under the Monday Night Lights postgame. We are presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning, and all coaches tonight are on courtesy of the Garber Auto Mall phone line. More high school talk, but let's certainly get into the Jaguars a little bit as we'll kick off about a 30 or 45-minute piece of Hacker After Dark. That comes up next right here with Andrew Gibson and Dylan Denmark. The Hacker Ryan Green with you on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
We live the best moments from the weekend's games.
That's what superstars do.
Post-game Monday.
Expert analysis of Sunday's game all day.
Brought to you by Dandy Foods, makers of quality fresh sandwiches and home of the good stuff on 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Awaken 180 weight loss. Awaken 180 weight loss. You know, it doesn't get old, right? When I see people that I haven't seen in a few months and their jaws absolutely drop and their mouth hits the floor because they haven't seen the amount of weight that I've lost in person. I'm down 100 pounds. Over 100 pounds since February 20th. From 317 to I weighed in this morning at 212. 105 pounds of weight loss. And it's all thanks to Awaken 180 Weight Loss, the best weight loss program I've ever been on. If you need to lose a ton of weight like I did, or if you need to lose 20 pounds, any point in between, trust me when I tell you, take it from a guy who's lost 105 pounds on this program. They can change your life. In some instances, they can save your life because they probably saved mine. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
The Jaguars are back at Everbank Stadium to go head-to-head with the Green Bay Packers for our crucial catch game. Join us October 27th as we fight cancer through early detection, risk reduction, and awareness all game long. Lock in your tickets now by visiting jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you there.
The coolers are full at your local Gate gas station, making it easy for you to cruise in and cruise out with little downtime. Ice cold Coronas, Natty Light, Stella Artois, and Michelob Ultra. Don't forget the king of beers, Cold Buds. Gate's got them in the cooler, waiting for you.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Homeowners, listen up. The Fed is taking action, lowering rates for the first time in years, and Loan Pronto has followed suit, lowering mortgage rates big time. Prosser here. That means this is the best chance in 2 years to do a cash-out refi and unlock all that equity at an amazing rate. Loan Pronto has fixed loans under 5% APR, the lowest in 2 years. You can get a fast refi and get $50,000 to $75,000, even $100,000 in cash. Use it to pay off all your credit cards, personal loans, car loans. You'll end up with one payment each month. And for most homeowners, they save over $850 every month. If you want to keep your original mortgage intact, ask about the Loan Pronto Express Equity Line of Credit. If you act now, you can even skip your next 2 house payments. So call now. Get your rate quote in minutes with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees like those other guys. 999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781.
57% of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida alumni say the club saved their lives. The Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida support over 5,000 local youths each day. Help support this work and have some fun at the same time. Join us at the Beaches Barbecue Bash, Monday, October 28th at ABBQ Atlantic Beach for barbecue, great beverages, live music, and an auction to positively impact our youth each day. Learn more at bgcnf.org/events.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-IHRS 777-4477.
Hey Googans, Dr. Chris Kopp, PT here with Premier Physical Therapy of Jacksonville. Is pain interfering with your life? Looking for a specialist for the rehab of your young athlete? Whether recovering from injury, surgery, or improving overall function, Premier PT Jax provides personalized treatment with compassionate care. My team of experts are ready to serve you at 3 locations: Ponte Vedra, San Pablo, and US 1 Phillips Highway. Visit PremierPTJax.com or call 904-996-6922. PremierPTJax.com, where your journey to wellness begins.
Make a crucial catch against colon cancer. Hicken here for the Borland Groover Foundation. If you're 45 or older, the ball is in the red zone to get screened. The key to surviving colon cancer, early detection and prevention. 45 is the new 50. Get screened for colon cancer now. The Borland Groover Foundation is a nonprofit organization devoted to building a healthy and equitable community that is free from colon cancer. Visit BorlandGrooverFoundation.com for more.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. The Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights, brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
Victoria's schools tonight include Creekside, Baldwin, Ponte Vedra, Bishop Kenny, among others. A lot of Monday night lights here making up for what was canceled last Friday. Big week of high school football as we'll be back underneath the Friday night lights coming up this Friday. Again, Southeast Orthopedic Specialist brings you the Friday Night Lights postgame. We are presented by Duck Duck Rooter, Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Branching into now a little Hacker After Dark. Jacksonville, the Jaguars. I got to do the 5th quarter yesterday with Dave Campo and Leon Searcy, and that was therapeutic, right? After you lose to Chicago in the fashion that you did, I've obviously had a little over 24 hours now to gather my thoughts, and here's what I've come up with. I have never been more wrong about a Jaguar football team. I'd like to think I have a pretty good idea coming into a year whether a team's going to be bad or good or somewhere in the middle. I was dead wrong about these guys. I had the Jaguars in the 9-win, 10-win range. Obviously, they're 1-5 right now. Who knows how bad it's going to get? I mean, you look at that schedule coming up after this New England game, you're talking Green Bay and Philadelphia and Minnesota and Houston and Detroit. I mean, brutal. It could be very, very, very bad. And now you're having rumblings from Andre Cisco saying what he did in the locker room about he saw a lot of quit. By the way, like 10 minutes prior to that, after the Chicago game, Doug Peterson met the media and said that the team didn't quit. That's the disconnect going on. The coach is saying one thing. One of his star players says something completely different to one of our colleagues, Brent Martineau, over at Action Sports. And now you trade Roy Robertson-Harris for basically a ham sandwich, a 2026 6th-round pick. And you got to wonder if this is going to start a fire sale, if you start unloading guys or unloading contracts. Does Trent Baalke start doing this stuff if he feels his job is in danger? We all feel that Doug Peterson's job is in danger. Is Trent Baalke's job in danger? I don't know. I mean, Shad Khan made that statement earlier this year, doubled down on it, said he wasn't misquoted, that this is the best team the Jaguars have ever assembled. Well, where did he hear that from? Who told him that? Was that his own opinion, or did he gather that from somebody? Potentially, I don't know, the general manager. I have no idea, but did he hear that from somewhere? Shad has proven in the past that it's not a combo deal, right? He's fired a head coach and retained the general manager. See Trent Baalke after Urban Meyer got fired. Or Gus Bradley or Dave Caldwell after Gus Bradley got fired. I'm not sure it's a combo deal. If Shad really thinks this is the best team that's ever been assembled, maybe the coach just isn't getting the talent to produce. Maybe the GM assembled a good team in his eyes, and the coach just isn't getting the job done. I don't know. But to me, you're getting awfully close to needing to clean house completely. And I just wonder if that's the direction they're going. Because, again, trading a guy like Roy Robertson-Harris for a 6th-round pick in 2026, you wonder if Trent Baalke does that if he's honestly concerned about his job security. Andrew Gibson, your thoughts on the loss to Chicago, the embarrassment that was yesterday over there in London?
Well, it's again, the fact that the Jaguars seemingly cannot overcome adversity. It's just every single week something bad happens and they cannot overcome it. And look, the drop touchdown on the first drive, right? Trevor Lawrence puts it right in there to Gabe Davis, and it's just like that kind of thing right there. You needed that play to happen.
I'm not sure if it's possible to have a horrible 2-touchdown game.
Yeah, I know.
Gabe Davis had a horrible, he caught 2 touchdowns.
He did.
But he was still awful yesterday.
He was. Yeah, I mean, just the because it's so critical for this Jaguars team, because I feel like of their psyche. They're 1-5 football team, obviously 1-4 going into yesterday, and you needed something positive to start the game. You need a touchdown. I mean, think about how much of a lift that would have been for the Jaguars, because the defense actually got a 3-and-out. Remember, they had given up a touchdown the last 4 games in the first drive, which is crazy to think about.
Gabe Davis is only getting paid $13 million a year,
right?
To catch the football and then to put one on the ground like that. No, I agree with you. And then Trevor Lawrence in the post game, he used the word fragile, right? We got to stop being so fragile.
And that's true.
This is professional football, right? The sport of gladiators. I mean, will your feelings get hurt? Did the season really end when Travis Etienne fumbled that ball in Miami? I mean, you want to talk about responding to adversity. Clearly, the big story of the day today, before the Roy Robertson-Harris trade, I guess, was Andre Sisco. And the thing about Sisco saying what he did to Martineau and Action Sports in the locker room after the Chicago game, to me, Gibby, if you get caught up in the moment and the emotions are running high and you say, yeah, I saw a lot of quit, well, maybe you could chalk that up to, again, getting caught up in the passion, the heat of the moment type deal. Sisco paused for a moment, kind of took a deep breath and said, how should I say this? He was thinking about what he was going to say. And Andre's a smart guy, right? Andre's a smart dude. He went to Syracuse. He's a smart cat. He knew when he said that what the reaction was going to be, both locally and nationally, and it has picked up a lot of steam. And he threw it out there. And I'll tell you this, doing the 5th quarter yesterday with Dave Campo and Leon Searcy, they were very critical of Andre Sisco. And I told them that's why I like the dynamic that we have on that show. You got a former head coach, you got a former Pro Bowler, and you got a media guy / fan, right? We're fans.
Yeah.
Eat chicken wings, drink cold beer on the couch, and watch the game. Now, maybe not the wings and beer. I mean, I have lost 100 pounds, but you get the point.
Yep.
I appreciated Sisco's comments because fans want to know, why the hell can't the defense stop anybody? Why are guys running wide open down the field? Why is 98-year-old Joe Flacco doing what he did in the 4th quarter, and then 21-year-old Caleb Williams 7 days later looks like Joe Montana? What is going on with the defense? And I think Andre Sisco maybe gave a little insight. And Campo and Leon's point was, well, you don't air it publicly. That's locker room stuff that needs to stay in-house. I guess I get it from their perspective. But again, I don't know about you, but I kind of appreciated Sisco rattling the cage a little bit.
Yeah, look, I mean, they're in a spot where that kind of stuff is happening. You know that's happening, and now it's been brought to light. I mean, I heard somebody today, I think it might have been Dempsey, they said the quiet part out loud. I mean, something that we all can see as fans watching it on TV. I mean, think about, the report that Doug has lost the locker room. They squashed that. Oh, no, that's not true. Well, there's a disconnect going on. There's clearly that. And then you had, 2 games ago, Gabe Davis and Trevor Lawrence going at it on the sideline. When Gabe Davis is arguing with Trevor Lawrence, Gabe, you got to make some plays, my friend. I mean, when the ball comes to you, don't fumble it. When the ball comes to you in the end zone on Sunday, catch the ball. You're making $13 million this year. I mean, guys just got to do their jobs, and it's just not being done enough.
They're 2-10 in their last 12. There are problems. I mean, there's no doubt about that. And you talk about the disconnect, I'll bring it up again. Doug Peterson, after Chicago, basically insinuated that the team didn't quit. They played hard.
Right.
10 minutes later, Andre Sisco's in the locker room saying he saw a lot of quit. So wait a minute. I mean, is that just coach speak for Doug Peterson? I mean, I don't know if he's going to necessarily call anybody out. Now, if you're Sisco, problem he's going to have probably tomorrow, because the guys had an off day today, team meeting, I mean, I would venture to guess that this is going to be addressed in that team meeting. And does Andre Sisco, not publicly, but because he aired it publicly, does he have to get up and say, I was talking about players X, Y, and Z? Because I'll tell you this, and you can single out a lot of different guys, and I hate to almost single out one guy, but it's so damning, and I don't know if you saw it. I'm sure you probably did. The end zone shot of the first Cole Kmet touchdown.
Lloyd.
Oh, my gosh.
Jogging.
Devin Lloyd, first off, he gets beat on the play.
Yep.
And got Sisco run over in the process, which I'm sure Andre didn't really appreciate. Devin Lloyd, you talk about hustle and running to the ball. He wasn't running, man. He was jogging to the ball. That was bad. That was a bad look for Devin Lloyd.
Yeah, he got put in the spin cycle because he got confused on that play, and that's been kind of a talking point for a while now. Lloyd getting confused out there has happened more than once over the course of time when he's been here in Jacksonville. So he got put in the spin cycle. The scheme of the Bears offense got him turned around. He wasn't sure where he was supposed to be, and Cole Kmet scores a touchdown. And, yeah, he's just jogging up. I'm not going to get him. Whatever.
It was a bad look, man. It was a bad look. Let's get more into the Roy Robertson-Harris trade, kind of what that means moving forward. And, by the way, they play a game in 5.5 days. Boy, Wembley Stadium, London, what a ball game they're going to have. The 1-5 Patriots against the 1-5 Jacksonville Jaguars. That'll be NFL football.
It's the toilet bowl.
Oh, my gosh. The Patriots are awful.
They are.
And they're starting a rookie quarterback who's starting his second game on Sunday. Do you have any confidence Jacksonville's going to win that game?
Well, somehow the Jaguars are favored in that game.
Because the Patriots are so awful?
Yeah.
But again, after what we saw yesterday, you had to put 50 matchsticks on a table. Do you feel confident with Jacksonville?
No, not at all. And yeah, the New England's got a rookie quarterback, but we just watched the rookie quarterback throw 4 touchdowns on this defense.
And that rookie quarterback for New England threw 3 touchdowns of his own yesterday and a loss to Houston.
Yeah.
So we'll get into New England, the Roy Robertson-Harris trading, and Jordan DeLugo, Generation Jaguar, coming up in less than 20 minutes. It is a special edition of the Friday Night Lights postgame on a Monday night, presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. And we're always with you as well, courtesy of Duck Duck Rooter, Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Again, thank you to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists for their continuing support of the Friday Night Lights postgame. Talked to the good doctor, Kevin Murphy, earlier tonight. We usually have Doc on. He's got surgery bright and early tomorrow morning. The man never stops working, so he'll be joining us on Friday this week. But again, thank you to Dr. Kevin Murphy, of course, the bump and bruise clinics they have on the weekends, and the great folks over there at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. More Jaguar talk, also Jordan DeLugo coming up here on Hacker After Dark / Friday Night Lights, 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
A game where every yard counts. One player's performance stands out.
That's what you want from a leader.
Universal Roofing Contracting presents the Offensive Player of the Game.
Touchdown, what a throw.
On 1010XL.
Peter, Jorge, let's bring the nail gun over here.
Jose stands tall atop his sustainable flooring company.
Totally. It's renewable and moisture resistant, but we have several green options too. Or we got some beautiful reclaimed oak.
But floored by his success, he needs to hire more installers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey folks, this is Dave Benyon with my son Ammon here from Zero Res. Ammon, you've been cleaning air ducts for a while now. What are some of the reasons customers might consider getting their air ducts cleaned?
There are many reasons. Many times, people suffer needlessly from poor indoor air quality produced by the conditions in their air system. Construction dust, the presence of bacterial growth, and years' worth of buildup all come together to make your air ducts a pretty gross place. If you suffer from allergies, have recently moved, recently remodeled, or have never had your air ducts cleaned, then now is the best time to call. By calling Zero Res, you'll have the peace of mind of knowing that you called the best of the best. Our state-of-the-art truck mount system and top-of-the-line service representatives simply can't be found anywhere else. Google Zero Res and read thousands of 5-star reviews.
So what kind of deals can I expect?
Just mention that you heard us on the radio, and we'll give you $100 off your air duct cleaning.
Wow, that sounds like a pretty great deal. Remember, folks, Zero Res,
spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
CEROREZ. Zero Res.
Being an athlete means having a healthy desire to do as much as you can with your body for as long as you can. Gatorade has lower sugar, electrolyte-backed hydration options to keep you rehydrated and replenished. Gatorade, for every athlete.
From Gatorade Zero to Gatorade Endurance Formula and Gator Light, there's something for every athlete. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. It's a win-win. Gatorade, official partner of the NFL.
The Florida Forum welcomes former UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson October 29th. Funds raised for a Kids Care Mobile ICU, a neonatal and pediatric critical care transport vehicle. Kids Care vehicles and helicopters safely transport more than 2,500 infants and children a year to Wolfson Children's Hospital. To get your tickets, click thefloridaforum.com or call 202-2886. 202-2886.
Start your Sunday off with a cup of Joe and some sports medicine intel. This is Joe C. inviting you to join me and Dr. George Bari for Breaking Bones every Sunday morning at 7:30. And if you miss an episode, just look for Breaking Bones wherever you listen to podcasts.
Jacksonville, are you ready? The college basketball season is tipping off with an epic in-state showdown. The Florida Gators and South Florida Bulls go head-to-head in the Jacksonville Sports Foundation Invitational. Be there Monday, November 4th at Veterans Memorial Arena and witness this in-state rivalry live. Secure your seats now at Ticketmaster.com. It's Florida versus South Florida to start the college basketball season on November 4th in Jacksonville. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Find your why with membership at the First Coast YMCA. The Y has something for everyone at any age. Come try free access to your local Y every Wellness Wednesday this month. Check out our fitness classes, swimming, pickleball, youth sports, and so much more for free every Wednesday in October. Plus, we'll waive the join fee when you become a member this month. Get active, be social, live healthier, and discover all the benefits of YMCA membership at your local Y or visit fcymca.org.
Make your dream of living in luxury a reality in Lennar's newest 55 and up active adult community, Edenbrook at Highland Trail. Located in the heart of Green Cove Springs, Edenbrook offers world-class amenities with a dedicated activities director and homes starting in the high 300s. With rates as low as 3.99% and up to $50,000 in flex cash on our new Edenbrook homes, the time to buy is now. Call 904-643-3750 to find out more. Your life of luxury awaits in Edenbrook at Highland Trail by Lennar.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
Yes, it is. All right, with Andrew Gibson, the Hacker, Ryan Green with you. Special edition of Hacker After Dark. A lot of high school football tonight. Appreciate you being able to bring to you a special Monday Night Lights here on 1010XL as well. Quickly, Gibby, Jordan DeLugo, Generation Jaguar, joins us to recap Chicago and look ahead to New England coming up in just a moment. What did you make of the Roy Robertson-Harris trade earlier this afternoon? Again, if you missed it, Roy Robertson-Harris traded from the Jaguars. By the way, you can't trade the guy on this continent. Right. You make him go over to London, make him play a game in London, And now you trade him to Seattle. It's like a 12-hour flight from London to Seattle. That's interesting timing, I guess. But what did you make of them? A 6th-round pick in 2026, ladies and gentlemen, coming back to the Jaguars.
Yeah, the first thought I had was I saw the initial report of it was Ian Rappaport saying that the Jaguars have traded standout defensive tackle Roy Robertson-Harris.
Yeah.
And I thought, define standout, because I don't think that Roy Robertson-Harris has been all that great here in Jacksonville. Has he been okay? Has he been solid? I'll give you that.
He was good in 2022.
Yeah, I think for the most part he's been just a solid player. Yeah, he was. He was pretty good in 20. But for the money that the Jaguars gave Roy Robertson-Harris, I don't think he was worth that. I really don't. I think that the Seattle Seahawks, kind of gave themselves some depth along their defensive line. But I thought he was a solid player in Jacksonville. I didn't think he was much more than that, to be honest. And to give up to get a 6th-round pick back for him tells me that he was not a standout player. He was pretty just okay.
Yeah, 6th-round pick in 2026, which, again, they basically just gave him away, which I think it was a contract issue, right? This does help them a little bit with the cap, although there will be some dead money there for Roy Robertson-Harris. The bigger question is now with the trade deadline like 2.5 weeks away, you're 1-5. You're not going anywhere. The team's terrible, arguably the worst team in football. There appears to be issues in the locker room. Obviously, the coach is on the hot seat. It's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Any way you want to slice it. You can be the most positive person when it comes to the Jacksonville Jaguars on planet Earth, and you even would recognize right now that it's bad. Is this going to be a situation where they dump more guys? They're throwing the white towel in on the season, whether it's a Walker Little, a Cam Robinson, dare I say a Devin Lloyd, whomever. Is this the beginning, or is this just a one-off?
No, I think this is the beginning. I think coaches and Doug Peterson's not going to tell you that. He's not going to get up there whenever he speaks in the middle of the week and say, yeah, we're throwing up the white flag. We're done. No, of course not. They're not going to tell you that. But I think there's an old saying, go by actions, not words. The Jaguars just gave you an action of what they're going to do. They're not going to tell you that we're waving the white flag, but they just gave one of their top pass rushers, and that's what he was. I mean, really, Roy Robertson-Harris away for basically nothing. And I think it's probably just the beginning.
We'll see. It would be a really interesting situation. Again, the New England game is winnable. The Jaguars are the favorite, as you mentioned. New England's terrible. Maybe the 2 worst teams in football going at it at Wembley Stadium on Sunday. Carolina would be in the mix, I guess, but New England and Jacksonville are both really bad. And then you come home to Green Bay, and that's going to be disgusting. There'll be 40,000 Packer fans here. Then Sunday Night Football, at least right now, and I would imagine if it was going to get flexed, it's going to get flexed any day. Otherwise, they're going to keep the Jaguars on Sunday night. And don't you hope it gets flexed?
Yes.
You don't want the Jaguars to go on national TV and get embarrassed for the 3rd time. And then you come home, and then it's like Minnesota, and then it's at Detroit, and it's Houston. I mean, the Jaguars are staring 2-9 in the face.
Yes, they are. The stretch after the Patriots game, the stretch that the Jaguars are about to go on after Sunday in London against the Patriots, the combined record of those 5 teams after the Patriots, 21-6.
It's just awful. It's just absolutely awful. And the Jaguars have made their bed. They got a lie in it. There are issues. We'll see if they can work their way out of it quickly. We'll do a little bit more of this on Friday during the Friday Night Lights. Do you like them against New England? I know it's early in the week.
No. And I'll tell you this. I'm glad that the Jaguars were able to honor Tom Coughlin when they did, because I don't know how many more opportunities they're going to get to do that with a team that might win a game, because they won the Colts game at home and they honored Tom Coughlin, which was fantastic. But I'm glad they did that early, because I don't know how many more chances they're going to get to win.
Man, I got to tell you, and I'll do more of this tomorrow night. By the way, special edition Hacker After Dark continues. The times are crazy this week. Denmark and I will be with you 6 to 8 on Tuesday and 6 to 8 on Wednesday. So 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock on both Tuesday and Wednesday for Hacker After Dark this week. And I'll do more of this tomorrow night, but I'm trying to think. In the 30-year history of the Jaguars, now there's 11 games left, man. I mean, there's 11 games to go. but in the 30-plus year history of the Jacksonville Jaguars, has there been a more disappointing team than what we have right now with the expectation? Look, all those years with the Malarkey year, the Gus Bradley years, I think you knew they were going to be awful coming in. So you really didn't care. I mean, yeah, it sucked to go 1-15 and 3-14, but you expected it, right? You knew they were going to be terrible. I think everybody here, most everybody here at 1010XL, we were of the 9 or 10 win mark. Most fans thought the same thing. Not the Super Bowl, but certainly competing for a wild card was not a crazy thought in the month of August. And they're the worst team in football right now. They'd be the number 2 pick in the draft if it were to happen today. And again, I don't know how many more wins you have after New England, even how many more games are winnable. You could argue this might be the most disappointing year that the Jaguars will ever have.
I think it is, and it's based on the expectations that the Jaguars had going in. I mean, think about this offseason. Shad Khan broke out the checkbook and wrote some checks this offseason. Trevor Lawrence, Josh Allen, just go down the line.
Campbell and Oluwakin.
Devon Hamilton got paid. Eric Armstead got a pretty hefty chunk to be here. Where's he been?
I mean, look at Darnell Savage, Gabe Davis, Mitch Morse, Ronald Darby. I mean, there's a lot of money, man.
There is a ton of money that shot. And if I'm him, like, I've paid my own money for these contracts, and I'm getting this. And think about this. I don't think there's going to be a move made in London, but the owner's there. I mean, Shad is in London. If you know, when you have a case like Shad Khan and he's not all the time here in the city, but he's there. If decisions have to be made and need to be made, I mean, he's there to make them.
I have very little criticism of Shad Khan. That guy has done a ton for this city. He's kept the team here when he didn't need to keep the team here. Just go ask people in St. Louis. Their owner wanted out, and he got out. Shad could have done whatever he wanted when he bought this team. And he's kept it here in Jacksonville. Has his decision-making been good as far as coaches and GMs? No, and I think a lot of that gets chalked up to being too loyal. I think Shad Khan is too loyal.
I agree.
I think he's loyal to a fault. And usually loyalty is a good thing, and 99% of the time it is. But when things are not working in your football department and you keep the same people in charge, you kept Dave Caldwell for 8 years, man. That's all you need to know. Dave Caldwell was here for 8 years. And he's one of the worst general managers the NFL has ever seen. Shad is just simply too loyal, and that is a problem right now.
I think whenever it does happen, because I'm not breaking news here because I do think it will happen, I expect that at the end of the day that Doug and Trent are gone. I think both of them are going to be gone. And that's just my opinion, no insight on that, because you can't have this happen with what the expectations were and not have consequences on this season. And Shad's not a guy that does a lot of that, but he's had to. He had to do it with Urban. And who knows if it weren't for the off-field stuff, how long he would have held on to Urban.
Well, again, the timing's crazy because I don't disagree with you, but he just told Demetrius Harvey of the Times-Union last week that, I'm paraphrasing here, that
he has confidence.
He has confidence, right?
And
in
that's
Trent
fascinating.
And Doug. And then they go out and get whitewashed by Chicago and London. Just crazy situation. It'll be interesting to see what happens. New England on Sunday. If they lose that game, man.
If they get fired, if Doug and Trent get fired, I don't think Doug's getting another head coaching job. I don't think Trent's getting another GM job. Do you?
No, of course not. Balky, definitely not. And I would seriously doubt Doug will as well. This is probably their last hurrah.
Their last crack.
And it's not going well right now. No doubt about that. He is Andrew Gibson. That's Dylan Denmark. I'm the hacker, Ryan Green. Jordan DeLugo, Generation Jaguar. Let's recap Chicago. Let's take a brief look ahead to New England. Let's do it next on a Monday night edition of Hacker After Dark. We were the Friday Night Lights postgame here on a Monday. Again, thank you to Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. And we've been presented by Duck Duck Rooter, plumbing, septic, and air conditioning. More to do with you here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Even the best teams can lose steam when their best players end up on the sidelines.
In case you haven't noticed, our receiver corps is decimated.
Listen for the personal injury attorneys Farah and Farah Injury Update.
Jacksonville. It's part of the game, though, you know?
On 1010XL.
57% of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida alumni say the club saved their lives. The Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida support over 5,000 local youths each day. Help support this work and have some fun at the same time. Join us at the Beaches Barbecue Bash, Monday, October 28th at ABBQ Atlantic Beach for barbecue, great beverages, live music, and an auction to positively impact our youth each day. Learn more at bgcnf.org/events.
Hey Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Hey, it's Mike Dempsey, and you know how I feel about Pella Windows and Doors. Great design, strongest warranties, and the highest quality products. I even chose Pella Windows for my own home. And whether you're a homeowner replacing windows or building a new home or a trade professional working with clients, I know the design experts at Pella will help your project run smoothly and look great. Visit PellaJacks.com or the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway at Pella Windows and Doors.
Packer here, and I can't believe it. 100 pounds gone. 6 months ago, I never would have dreamed this was possible. I'm going to say it again because it feels so good. I've dropped 100 pounds thanks to Awaken 180 weight loss. To put that in perspective, I've taken roughly 10 inches off my waist. I'm down from a XXX to an XL, and I did it all in slightly over 6 months. It's not just about the number on the scale. It's also about getting my life back, playing with my son, and being more physically active. Now, we're celebrating big time. I'm hosting an exclusive football watch party to celebrate this huge milestone, and you'll have a chance to join me. Let's watch some football, eat some great food, and if you have questions about Awaken 180, ask me. Details to come, but don't wait on that. Call Awaken 180 today and learn how fast you can reach your goals. 844-346-1800 or online, awaken180weightloss.com.
She's seen and heard all over 1010XL's video and social channels.
Whether the big cats are at the bank or on the road, I'm there too. Follow my updates all season long, on air and online.
All things Mia are driven by Arlington Toyota.
Make a crucial catch against colon cancer. Hicken here for the Borland Groover Foundation. If you're 45 or older, the ball is in the red zone to get screened. The key to surviving colon cancer, early detection and prevention. 45 is the new 50. Get screened for colon cancer now. The Borland Groover Foundation is a nonprofit organization devoted to building a healthy and equitable community that is free from colon cancer. Visit BorlandGrooverFoundation.com for more.
Peter, hot head. Let's bring the nail gun over here.
Jose stands tall atop his sustainable flooring company.
Totally. It's renewable and moisture resistant, but we have several green options too. Or we got some beautiful reclaimed oak.
But floored by his success, he needs to hire more installers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Our new KFC 3-piece original recipe tenders, fries, and comeback sauce are just $5. A deal so tasty, our competitors might consider switching sides.
So no one will recognize me if I say how much I love your 11 herbs and spices.
Nope. I added a filter to your voice.
Sounds like it's only on your voice.
No, it's on your voice. Wait.
Let the chicken tender battles begin. Try the new 3-piece original recipe tenders, fries, and comeback sauce for $5. Only at KFC. It's finger-licking good. Prices and participation may vary. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool? Today's contestant, a gravy taster from Jacksonville, Florida, me, Dennis Mosley.
Hi, Ken.
Okay, Dennis. 100 plumbers surveyed, top answer on the board. What does it mean if someone says your home has hard water?
It's made of ice? Let's see, hard water. Oh, is it club soda mixed 4-to-1 with vodka?
Last chance, Dennis. What is hard water? Is it that lime scale stuff that makes my taps all crusty?
That's right, Dennis. And a water treatment system from Bueller Air and Plumbing will eliminate troublesome lime scale deposits that can ruin your expensive appliances and let your neighbors know for sure that you are cool.
I wonder if I can get me a gin and tonic faucet.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
Back here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville. We are glad you are with us. The Jacksonville Jaguars lose to the Chicago Bears, actually get blown out by the Chicago Bears, 35-16. It really wasn't even that close. The Jaguars now 1-5 on the year and are arguably the worst team, certainly one of the worst teams in the National Football League. And we got 11 games to go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's try to figure out what on earth has gone wrong. Are they quitting? Well, you talk to some of the players, maybe they think they are. There's a lot to digest. With that, Jordan DeLugo, Generation Jaguar, certainly one of our go-to guys here on Hacker After Dark. Jordan, how are you, my friend?
Well, the sun's still shining here in Duval County, but it is pretty grim. There's no doubt about it.
Jordan, you by no means are sunshine and rainbows. I don't pretend to be either, but I'm shocked. I mean, you were down there every day at training camp like I was. You know, I thought 9-8, 10-7. I don't think I was overstretching that. I thought this team was every bit as good as last year's, if not better. And 1-5 and just looking uninspired. And now you got Andre Sisco saying he saw a lot of quit yesterday. I mean, good grief, man. Are you as surprised as I am by this?
Yeah, and it's more surprising with the defense, in my opinion. The offense, there's been ups and downs. I mean, there's been ups and downs all over the team, right? And that's why they've ended up 1-5. There's been more downs than moments of success. But defensively, I mean, the safeties have been out of whack all year. Obviously, losing Tyson Campbell in week 1 hurts. Like, are you putting this entire thing on just losing your top cornerback? And if so, that's an indictment on the rest of the defensive roster, right? So it's a tough situation, and it just doesn't look like they have the guys at corner right now to be able to keep up with teams that have legitimate receiving threats like the Bears, like the Texans, even the Colts, who are a team that doesn't really have a great group of receivers, but they were able to light up the Jaguars as well defensively. So there's issues all over the football team. And yes, it's absolutely disappointing and shocking to see a team allow 34 points to the Colts. The Colts haven't scored like that against anyone else. 35 to the Bears, who the Bears are coming off a big performance against the Panthers, but when they've played decent teams, they haven't been able to put up anywhere close to the amount of yards and points that they did against the Jaguars yesterday.
You know, to your point about Tyson Campbell, I agree with you. That's a big loss, but I'm sorry, man. This is the NFL. Injuries happen. Chicago was without 2 of their starting 4 secondary members going into the game. They lost a third one in the middle of the game. So 75% of their secondary was backups. And that didn't seem to bother them in London. I mean, whether that's a depth issue, a roster construction issue, just an I don't care issue, whatever the issue is. Look, Tyson Campbell's a good player, but he's not Dion, right? And you cannot not overcome the loss of Tyson Campbell. To me, if that's the case, that's squarely on Trent Baalke.
Yeah, I would agree. I think, you know, all offseason, I thought they should add another veteran corner who has experience starting in the league, and there were guys out there that they could have done that with. Instead, they said, you know, Ronald Darby is going to be our starter opposite Tyson Campbell. And even if you feel that both of those guys are quality starters, which I think that they can be together, you know, Darby is now having to cover 1s, right? And Buster Brown's now having to cover 2s. And, like, when Tyson Campbell goes out, it just decimates your depth and it makes your starters not as talented as well. But Darby and Campbell are both guys that have dealt with injuries. So I think it was predictable that something might happen to where you have your depth tested. And I don't think they did enough to address that depth throughout the offseason to make sure. And again, this isn't a team that is like just supposed to be, oh, maybe we can come in second in the division. Maybe we can, squeak out and make the playoffs as a wild card team. Shad Khan told the world this was the most talented, best coached team that Jacksonville has ever assembled. And this is what you have to show for it. Like it is unacceptable from a roster construction standpoint. And then also, Ryan Nielsen obviously is a man coverage guy. That's what he's been throughout his career. But at this point, Buster Brown can't cover a lot of the guys he's being asked to cover man on man, and neither can Ronald Darby. So maybe should there have been an adjustment? Right?
There needs to be something because they're allowing points like nobody's business. 98-year-old Joe Flacco, 21-year-old Caleb Williams, Josh Allen. They put 47 on the Jaguars on Monday Night Football. It's just an embarrassment right now. Jordan DeLugo, Generation Jaguar, here with us. The free agent haul. I'm not going to throw stones in a glass house. I thought it was a great free agent haul, and I was dead wrong. And I apologize to Jaguar fans on the fifth quarter for being so wrong. Eric Armstead's lucky he seems like a decent enough guy because he's entering Hugh Douglas, Jerry Porter territory, all right? He took a huge contract, and he's doing nothing. Darnell Savage missed a bunch of games due to injury. He's not doing very much. Ronald Darby's contribution against the Bears was 2 holding penalties. Gabe Davis, I don't know how you can have an awful 2-touchdown game, but if you can, he accomplished that against Chicago. Mitch Morse, I guess, is average. Man, they spent a lot of money, Jordan, this offseason, and they are getting no return on that investment.
Yeah, I do think Mitch Morse was a big-time addition still. Obviously, with being 1-5, you don't want to have any positive things to say, but I do think Mitch Morse was a good addition. But everyone else you mentioned, yeah, they've had more struggles than successes, and I think Savage was playing well before he got injured. It's been a little bit more inconsistent now, and maybe you're just looking at a defense that, again, is showing quit, that's falling apart, that the messaging from the coaching staff down to the players, it's just not resonating at all. And as soon as one bad thing happens, it feels like it's an avalanche, and the opposing offense just gets in rhythm and feels good, and there's nothing the Jaguars defense can do, especially on the back end. So, yeah, I think that it's been ugly. And then with Eric Armstead, look, he was rehabbing until basically the end of training camp, not fully healthy. And then you're not only dealing with that, but you're also dealing with the fact that he's playing defensive end instead of 3-tech. I think when he was signed, everybody expected him to be a 3-tech more than a defensive end. Like, if you want to play him in base as a run defender at defensive end, that's one thing. But if you're expecting him to rush the passer against tackles in this league, that's not his game. Like, his game is to quickly beat interior linemen and get into the face of the quarterback as a pass rusher. So that's another miscue from the coaching I don't know. Did Trent Baalke have a mandate? He's playing defensive end, or Doug? I don't think so. I think that Ryan Nielsen could probably move him around the formation if he wanted to, or play him inside if he wanted to. And that's not happening as much as you'd like to see it.
They got 2 defensive ends on this team. And what's really ticks me off, to be honest with you, is you and I've spoken to so many people that cover the team, and it's not my thought. It's common knowledge among media, fans, everybody. They haven't had anybody behind Hines Allen and Walker now in 2 years. They didn't have anybody last year, and they didn't do anything about it. They go out and bring in 31-year-old Eric Armstead with bad knees, and he's going to be your third edge rusher when he's not inside. Yesterday they had Roy Robertson-Harris and Eric Armstead on the field together when Walker and Hines Allen were being spelled. That, to me, is not a success for getting after the opposing quarterback. The only other guy you have that's a, quote, edge rusher is a 7th-round rookie in Miles Cole. It's nonsense what this roster is, and we talked about it the entire offseason about affecting the quarterback after 41 and 44. They didn't have anybody. They continue not to have anybody, and it's just another issue. And down to Andre Sisco. He said that to Action Sports in the locker room, that he, quote, saw a lot of quit. Boy, I mean, I know Doug Peterson addressed it earlier today in London, talking about the frustration, and he disagrees with that. Here's the messaging. Here's the messaging all you need to know about this team, Jordan. Doug Peterson, after the Bears game on Sunday, said the guys aren't quitting. No more than 5 minutes later in the post-game locker room, one of his star players says he saw a lot of quit. That's the disconnect right now with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, and that kind of leads me back to a couple weeks ago. Jordan Schultz, who does a great job as a NFL insider, reported that he talked to multiple players within the locker room that had talked about, the team being out on the coaching, on Doug Peterson. And Doug Peterson denied that. And it looks like Doug just doesn't even know what's going on in the locker room or doesn't want to admit it publicly. That, there is clearly a disconnect. You have the Andre Sisco example saying there's quit, Doug Peterson saying he doesn't see that. And then now also, as I mentioned, the Jordan Schultz report that the team that certain players on the team were out on Doug. So, I mean, there's clearly mixed messaging. There's clearly a disconnect, and it doesn't look like it's going to end well.
Couple of more for Jordan DeLugo of Generation Jaguar. Offensively, Trevor can only throw the ball so many times in the end zone, and it gets dropped over and over and over before you just throw up your hands. They had 4 drops in the end zone against the Bears. 4. Now, one of them would have been a pretty decent, hard catch, but this is the NFL. Last time I checked, you get paid to catch the ball. And Gabe Davis had a couple. Christian Kirk had one. Brian Thomas had one. There was plenty of blame to go around. I don't know in the history of the NFL, and I mean this, how many times you have 4 different occasions where NFL wide receivers touch the ball with both hands in the end zone and you get 0 points on those 4 occasions. The offensive play calling, to me, look, you go 10 plays on the opening drive, you get the field goal because Davis dropped the ball. All right. The next 3 series, you go 3 and out. I don't think Trevor threw the ball more than 4 yards down the field. I mean, and I watch Detroit, and I watch Washington, and I watch these innovative offenses with Kingsbury and Ben Johnson, who, by the way, I want to be the next head coach here in Jacksonville. I'm on that train already. I see these offenses, Jordan. I see what they're doing. I look at us here in Jacksonville. Looks like we're back in 1997. I mean, am I wrong? What's the issue on offense?
I think there's a number of issues. I think play calling is part of it. I think that just like play sequencing as well. You have a Bears defense that's down all these starters in the secondary. They don't have like a particularly dominant pass rush. Why are we not trying to push the ball down the field? As you mentioned, it doesn't really make a ton of sense. They did take some shots, but it was a very low average depth of target type of day for Trevor Lawrence. And yeah, even if you want to say, well, the plays were there to be made, right? Like the guys just couldn't catch the football or they fumbled the football or what have you. That's still talented players not making the most of their talent. And that usually, if that's consistent throughout the roster, that usually goes back to some sort of disconnect between the coaching and the players. And again, I think that's what you're seeing here.
Final moments, Jordan DeLugo, Generation Jaguar. All right, there's 11 games to go. We got to sit through 11 more of these, 3 more months worth. I mean, they're not going to the playoffs. They're 1-5. They're arguably the worst team in football. And you got the owner who publicly stated, and he doubled down on it, saying I wasn't misquoted, that this is the best team ever. All right, well, that was a bad look. And now he talks to our colleague Demetrius Harvey of the Times-Union day before the Bears game, publicly backs again Balky and Peterson, then they go out and get embarrassed in London. I mean, Jordan, where do we go from here? Patriots on Sunday, but I don't even know how many people care about that game. The poor NFL, the poor people at Wembley. You get the 1-5 Patriots and the 1-5 Jaguars. That'll be a humdinger, man. That'll be NFL football at its finest. I mean, what's the end game here for the Jaguars? Can they turn this around, or are we going to be having a conversation about either Doug Peterson or Trent Baalke in the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, that Patriots offense versus Jaguars defense is going to be like a movable object versus a stoppable force, right? But Yeah, I don't know, because Shad Khan has publicly backed the leadership here, and he obviously was extremely confident in the leadership here prior to the start of the season, and he's been slow to move on in the past. He did talk about how 9-8 is no longer acceptable. Winning is what we expect now, and so it does kind of seem like every time Shad Khan has publicly really put his foot down and tried to make a statement, it's come back to bite him a little bit, doesn't it? But I don't know when they would move on. Would they move on during the season? I think they didn't want to move on from Urban Meyer during the season, but extenuating circumstances, the behavior of Urban Meyer kind of led them to kind of having to move on from him. So would they let this thing ride out the whole season? I don't necessarily think that's wise, because a change is required at some point, and the messaging is stale. It's not working. Maybe, just maybe, if you did make a move, you could catch a little bit of lightning in a bottle and not make the playoffs, but get a little bit more confidence heading into 2025 and have some confidence with these players, with the new coaching staff, whoever that ends up being.
Jordan, tell the good folks about Generation Jaguar and what you'll have as we head into this big game with the 1-5 Patriots and the 1-5 Jaguars on Sunday.
Yeah, we're just going to be talking about, what's going wrong. We talked about the defense this morning, how embarrassing it's been. Talked about the game yesterday. We'll probably maybe this is the time now to start looking ahead at who could be some potential coaching candidates. You mentioned Ben Johnson, who I know everybody is going to want, but I think the idea of being able to coach a Trevor Lawrence should be pretty enticing. Maybe the idea of being a coach under Shad Khan, who, despite his failures as an owner, he does give his coaches everything they need to succeed from a monetary standpoint. Free agency, he's willing to spend money. There's pieces in place in Jacksonville to build a competitor, but it just hasn't happened yet. So we'll be talking about all that sort of stuff in the next coming weeks.
Jordan DeLugo of Generation Jaguar. Jordan, I know you're busy. Appreciate the time, my friend. We'll talk again soon.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on, Hacker.
Now, the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
And thank you to Jordan DeLugo, Generation Jaguar, for joining us tonight here on a special Hacker After Dark / Monday Night Lights edition of 1010XL. We had a lot of high school football because of the cancellations on Friday night, so we're able to bring you a lot of victorious head coaches from all over Northeast Florida. But, of course, we wanted to bring you some Jaguar talk as well. Jaguars are now 1-5 on the year. That is reality, as they are arguably the worst team in football, arguably the most disappointing team in football, and that's where they are with 11 games to go in the 2024 regular season. Again, thank you to Jordan DeLugo, Generation Jaguar, for joining us to talk Jags. We will certainly keep the conversation going with the Jaguars more this week. Now, I will be back for Hacker After Dark tomorrow and Wednesday beginning at 6 o'clock. Special start time, 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock on both Tuesday night and Wednesday night this week. And we do hope that you join us then. Thank you to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists for bringing you the Monday Night Lights here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. And as always, the high school postgame is presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Thank you to Andrew Gibson for joining us tonight as well. Gibby is always here with us under the Friday Night Lights, making a special Monday night appearance. And Gibby will be back with you on this Friday, 4 days from now, for our regular Friday Night Lights program. Dylan Denmark was your producer tonight. Dylan, great job as always. I'm the Hacker, Ryan Green. And again, Jacksonville, thank you for spending part of your Monday night with us right here on Hacker After Dark on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM. So until tomorrow night at 6 o'clock,